I'm Fauntus, and today's Game Table Short, we will be previewing What's in a Name, The Language of Dark Souls, Episode 9, Legendarium, where we will be introducing cultural anthropology into our definitions. What does that mean? We'll get there. First, let's have a couple definitions. Osiros, the consumed king of Lothric, from Quenya, Akir, which means to cut something away and lose a portion of, and the Quenyan Ros, which means sputtering, foaming, a mess. And we have Ocelot from Quenyan, which is something separate from a single source, Quenyan Kel, to flow away, drain, or wither, and Quenyan Lot, a small budding flower, a blossom. So Osiros cut something away and lost a portion that was a mess, and Ocelot is the withering blossom, the dying flower. Yeah, he probably cut that baby out. Yikes. Now, this whole situation has a cultural context, which we would miss if we focus strictly on the etymology. Most learned nerds know that the Japanese imperial family claimed direct descent from the sun goddess Amaterasu, but she wasn't like the mom of the first emperor. There were several generations between her and the first emperor, Emperor Jimmu, and it's Emperor Jimmu's grandparents who has a story reminiscent of Osiris, between a prince named Hyori and a princess, Toyotama Hime. Now, when the couple were expecting their first kid, Toyotama Hime tasked Hori with making a hut that she may deliver the baby in peace. But while in labor, Hori had to promise not to look in, which, okay, big shock, he does. He looks in. And to his surprise, instead of his bride, he sees a huge-ass dragon. And she is devastated by him breaking his promise. And she goes back to her dad's castle, leaving her prince forever. And it looks to be that the Osiris and Ocelot are a gender-swapped version of this myth. And it's a little weird, especially when you think about who is peeking on who or giving birth to what. But the real surprise, Hyori was a descendant of Amaterasu and her brother the moon. His name means the fading flame. Alternatively, is the daughter of the sea god, Toyotama Hime, related to storms, dragons, and the deep, and claims descent from a certain god who was banished from the realm of gods and was brother to the sun and moon. Her name means, Hime means princess, so that Toyotama means either luxurious jewel or bountiful soul. So the fading flame and a bountiful soul who is related to dragons, the deep, and a banished god who was once a brother to the sun and moon. That might give us a bit of perspective here on Osiris. The gender flip's incidental, and he is connected to the Nameless King, a banished storm god with ambiguous ties to dragons and the deep. And that means that the Queen of Lothric probably had ties to the sun and moon, and a fading flame, all of which are things associated with Irithyll. Now, if you consider that in the Japanese tale, the princess sent back her child with her sister or relation in order to help raise him, well, that could easily be the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. Now, at first, that may not add up, because we know that Ocelot doesn't start any dynasties. But to that fact, we can look again at the Japanese associations. See, the imperial throne is called the chrysanthemum, or blossom throne. So Ocelot was cut away from his blossom, or throne. Look at all that. All this information and more, just by including cultural context. And you can look forward to much more of that in the upcoming episode. But before you go, many of you are no doubt familiar with Lance McDonald's and others' cut content videos. One of his most recent detailed a Lothric darkened by a moonlight ceremony. Well, I've discovered that when you activate this condition of the moonlight ceremony and you go to the Osiris boss gate, you find 2 new phantoms. And these 2 new phantoms, when summoned for the Osiris fight, result in unique audio. The phantoms are a silver knight from Anor Londo, simply called the Sterling Silver Archer, and the other phantom is called, it's not really clear, it's either a Carol or a Cheryl, but I believe it's meant to be the former Queen of Lothric. Now, I can't recreate the fight with the phantoms, but I recovered the audio that plays if you enter the fight with those 2 phantoms. And here it is.
What the hell was that?
My beloved Ocelot.
I've never seen an ocelot!
You ignorant slaves.
Holy shit! shit! You guys, look at his little spot! Hey, what's his name?
Child of dragons.
I love it!
It should be buyer's remorse.
I will not give him up.
Stupid things sick all the time.
My dear little ocelot.
Yeah, right. Like I could cut content. I can't even cut and paste. All right. I'll see you in the episode.
How quickly you forget. The strength of dear ocelot. Child of dragons.
I don't know about ocelots, but my gut tells me you gotta get him a stuffed animal. Something. That's like Meowschwitz in there.